to Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I
It's
have
early.
some vocal fry this morning because we are doing an early morning episode on a Saturday, so please, I don't even know. I don't know. Be kind.
I'm
My
not
voice is
functioning
gross
till
this
noon
morning.
usually.
Wow.
This will be fun. And I was up
Like, I
playing
don't-
D&D, and you were up late doing stuff too.
Yeah, doing stuff. It's been a while since we recorded just the two of us. It's been like conventions and interviews and stuff like that. So
Guests
it's kind of
and
fun to do
things.
one that's just
Just
us. So hi.
How's it going?
What's our housekeeping stuff? We got
Housekeeping.
our usual. If you guys want to send us some cosplay horror stories or happy fun convention time stories or
We got a
I don't know, just
bunch this week.
fun, exciting, entertaining stuff you have done or experienced because of cosplay, send that our way. You can send it to us on our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com.
Or go to cosplaystitchandseam.com, and there's a form on the contact page that will never, hopefully, break. Cross my fingers.
Hooray! Hooray!
My old one would always break. Hopefully this one's not stupid. Yeah, and then there's also the Facebook group, which you can come and join us. It is currently... No, wait, I think
as
that
of
changed.
today, yeah.
Hang on.
Are we at... Did we hit 300?
I think we did. Hang on. I'm going there.
Oh my god.
There's the group. There's the
Give it a
group.
wait. Do.
Where's the 302 members now?
Dang, 302. So, yeah, like, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming and hanging out. As you may have noticed, Mercedes posts pretty much, like, daily during the weekdays if you want to, like, have a meme or something to reply to. But we also love to see, like, stuff from you guys throughout the week. You're welcome to post in there. It is an open forum, so as long as you guys aren't, like, spamming or, like, getting crazy, I guess. We do like to see, like, if new members, when you come in, like, introduce yourselves. People want to get to know you. And of course, we always encourage, like, on any of the posts that people try to, like, interact and talk and learn from each other. We kind of want to keep it as, like, our own mini green room, you know, where we
It's really
love
fun.
to
There's
chat
like
and
been
learn from
a
each
lot
other.
of really cool, like, people posting like, "This is a thing I've been working on," or
yeah.
"Hey, I'm kind of stuck on this. Can I get help on this?" And then like everybody like answers with really good answers, and I'm like, I'm learning new things, and it's really fun.
Yay!
I love the group.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are wholesome, and it's adorable.
We like a wholesome group, and like it's been really nice. And I really loved that meme that you posted. Like, it's going to be a little bit while back from now that we're now, but it was like a selfie day, and it was just like, oh, I get to see, like, these are all the people listening, and like I get to actually like put faces to our listeners, so that was really cool.
I actually really like the selfie day ones. I'm probably gonna put those more often because it's fun.
Yay! Nice. And let's see, we have a new coffee account. Did you want to talk about that one?
So the coffee account is still the same one. I just managed to change the name on it, so it's not the ridiculous thing we had before. Both still link to the same one. I tested it, so both still link to the same one. But now it's coffeeko-fi.com/cosplay stitch. And I think now we are Cosplay Stitch on every bit of social media that I've nabbed, so...
Nice! That's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So just Cosplay Stitch. Okay.
So,
and if you guys are on the Facebook...
Oh, sorry. Interrupted you.
No.
Go.
No, if you guys are on the Facebook, it's in our little banner, so you can see, like, all of our different contacts and things like that, so...
Which I'll update on the day of this recording. I tried to do it the other day, but there were issues and it didn't work, so... But I will.
Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, the old one still works. It still works.
Yeah.
So yeah, upcoming conventions we might be at. For me, I think the soonest one's not going to be till Anime Expo, which is this summer. But Mercedes, you're doing Nihon Matsuri, aren't you?
Yes, Nihon Matsuri. Also, I'm working on it, but I'm most likely going to be going to Ogden Uncon. This is their first year doing a convention, and I figure Ogden is my hometown, where I grew up, so I might as well go and check it out. And gonna see how it goes. It looks like a lot of fun.
Cool.
And then
Cool.
Utah Podcast Summit. Also going to that with David. It's gonna be great.
Yay!
Pannon will be able to digitally check it out. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. It's gonna be really cool.
Yay! Yeah. Well, and also, if you guys ever, like, want us to come by a convention, want to suggest one that, like, you think has a really great community, or just want to, like, put a spotlight on one in your area, like, send it to us with your email, recommend, or, like, suggest to your local con that you want us to come visit, things like that. Like, we will try to within our own budget, but if we get invited, that would be awesome, too.
Yeah, some conventions, I just found out about this, like some conventions on their websites will have guest suggestions.
Oh, nice.
And some actually have cosplay guest suggestions, so you can actually like go in and if you want to do that helps like get the convention aware that like there's an interest and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that they do that because then they can cater to their audience a lot better. I like those kind of things.
That's very cool. Okay, should we get to the actual episode? Okay.
Oh my gosh. I know what I'm doing this whole episode too. Okay, go.
Oh, nice. Okay. So this episode we're going to do makeup, which might seem a little bit weird for a podcast to cover makeup. But I kind of wanted to give like not like a warning, but like a general like talk about what we're going to talk about before we talk about it.
Your face is going to talk about it.
My face is going to talk about it.
That's what I'm going to do this whole time.
So we're not going to like pitch any brands. We're not like selling anything like,
no.
And I feel like the information I'm giving today is like generic enough that it should be for like any sex or gender. Like it's not specifically like how to do makeup. It's more like we wanted to go through and tell you guys like what different makeup things do and how they can help you.
Hey, there's this thing.
Yeah.
This is what it is often used for. And I'm really curious about this because I am horrible with makeup. Like, if anyone's ever seen my cosplay pics, it's usually very makeupless. Well, I've gotten better over the years, I should say, but it's very minimal. And I actually learned a lot about makeup when I got married. Because, nice. The big wedding, and the person who did my makeup, like, she gave me a lot of really good advice. And I was like, cool, I didn't know these things.
Nice.
And that's how I do my makeup. So, like, all my makeup's wedding makeup, I guess.
Well, and it's also not to say that you absolutely need makeup, because I know a lot of people, like, can't because of allergies or things like that. But this is just to, like, generally let you know what different products do. And like I said, we're not going to like name any specific products. I feel like it depends on this one. Much.
I wouldn't even accidentally this time because I'd be like, this, I don't know what brand that is. I walk into the makeup store or like the makeup section at the store, I should say. I don't actually walk into makeup stores. Probably should. But I see everything there and I'm like, cool. So yeah, there's no way I'm going to accidentally name drop something this time, so.
Nice. And I feel like a lot of times, not to like pick on guys at all, but like I feel like there's kind of a stigma against wearing makeup, even if you cosplay as a guy. And I want to encourage guys listening to like give it a try, because it can really help like get better pictures. Like one of the best examples I can think of is there's a cosplayer who I think he does the official Witcher 3 stuff. Oh gosh,
yes, mall cosplay.
And his makeup like makes that cosplay like amazing. Like it's already like an incredible cosplay, but look at his makeup and like all the scar work and all the other things. Like you learn like generic makeup stuff. That's the skill set that you have as a base. And then you can do more advanced like scars and special effects and things like that. So it's not just about like looking feminine or anything like that.
It's
like
about making
most of your
details pop.
Yeah, all your Marvel superheroes, they wear makeup when they are in front of a camera. Like,
well, it's like on the note, like when I first started cosplaying, I thought, because I did mostly cross-playing, and I was like, guy makeup is no makeup. But ever since I started, like, adding makeup, even when I am cosplaying a guy, like, the pictures pop more, the facial expressions come out more, and I look less like I'm pale and dying, because I am pale and dying. So,
well, and like, what I brought to the table today is definitely, like, this is what I have learned over the years, because I started with, like, you know, my junior high makeup skill set, which was like, just put powder on your face, just put it everywhere, and slowly moved through to be like, oh, okay, so this product does this, and when I use it like this, my makeup looks better overall. So it's just kind of like little skills that you pick up along the way. So yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, the most important advice I can give you, like, before we even get into what different things do, is to get to know your own face.
Get to know your face. Your face.
Yes.
That's bad.
Well,
okay.
and as a cosplayer, I feel like you should do that a little bit anyway, because you want to know how your face looks in front of a camera, or a video camera, or if you're, you know, posing, or acting as the character, things like that. You want to know your face pretty well. And so that should kind of be part of things anyway. But knowing, like, your face shape, knowing your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, you know,
also, like, your skin type,
like, oh, definitely.
And this is for, like, because makeup does cause acne, and so knowing what your face likes as far as putting stuff on it, because that could be very important.
Right. All of that, yes. Knowing your face. Like, one of the biggest hang-ups I had with makeup that I got frustrated about was that the tutorials I saw were for very specific shapes of face, or shapes of eye, or I'm sure some people struggle with, you know, different color. Like, there's so many variants, and the tutorials I was watching were not helpful to me, because I would try what's in the video and go, it doesn't look right on me, and just get frustrated and give up, when really I just didn't know how to cater the techniques and ideas to my own face. So that's really the most important advice I can give you, is get to know your face. And just because one tutorial doesn't work for you, you may have to take different steps to make the same idea work, depending on your face.
And I would like I would
you can still make it work.
Yeah, I would explore, especially if, like, you're looking up tutorials online and whatnot. Like, watch them, try them, see what ones you like. And, you know, get feedback from your friends too. Be like, hey, I tried this thing. What do you think? And you know, explore it.
It is.
Do more.
But I just want to reassure people who have tried and, like, given up because it doesn't look the same. Like, that can be, like, a lack of practice. That can be just a different face shape. That can be so many different things. And it's not necessarily, like, that you have failed in some epic problem way. It's not. And it's hard because, like, if you mess up, or if you don't, like, pick a tutorial or something that is, like, flattering to your face, it's, like, right there on your face, and you feel really dumb about it. And I get that. I totally do. But, like, I encourage people to keep trying.
With
like,
practice,
most of all, keep trying.
Yeah, with practice, you'll be able to figure out how to get those the wings or whatever for the eyeliner and
the wings.
all that stuff. Wings. Yeah. It's like, on that note too, you guys are gonna find out just how horribly inept I am with makeup in this episode. You can adapt too. So, like, me and eyeliner, I like wearing eyeliner. I watch people on those tutorials, and they're like, they just, like, one swoop and
swish
boom,
and
they've
flick.
got it. Yeah, swish and flick, and they've got it. And I'm like, awesome. I go to do it. I'm shaking all over the place.
Oh no.
And, like, I get that line, but it's too thick, and I'm just like, what did I do? And it's crooked too. And so I've learned to adapt to that by taking a Q-tip, getting it wet, and just erasing what I don't want.
I mean, like, it works for you though.
Yeah.
Like, And we'll get into that more when we're at eyeliner. But yeah. It's
but I'm just saying, it's like,
what
if you're bad at it, it's okay. You can adapt and overcome.
well, yeah, I feel like it's with anything with cosplay. Like, everybody starts at the beginner area, you know? Like, you're not... Everyone has done that dumb thing, or everyone has tried it and just hated how they look in the mirror. Like, it's okay. It happens. Like, absolutely. Like, and what you see on Facebook and Instagram and behind filters is probably not all the mess ups and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So getting into the makeup things. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk is moisturizer. So moisturizer is like lotion, like what you put on your hands or body lotion or whatever, but it's just for your face. And so when you're picking a moisturizer, it's really important to know your face and what type of skin you have, if it's oily, if it's dry, if it's like a mix of the two, if it's somewhere in between, because different moisturizers are going to leave your skin feeling a different way after you apply them. And let's see, moisturizer's kind of like, I've been trying to think of these in terms of like art or other things that like cosplayers will relate to. But like when I was in art school, we would do stuff on like frame. What
Canvas?
are they called? Canvas. Yes, we do
Canvas.
stuff on a canvas. And before you even put paint to your canvas, you put a layer of gesso, which is like it's kind of like a canvas prep thing.
Yeah.
And it makes it so like you're not using as much paint. It makes it so you're like the colors stick, things like that. And that's kind of what moisturizer does, is it's preparing your skin for all this junk you're about to put on it. And it also is kind of like a protective layer between your skin and all of that stuff.
Would it be good to say like Plasti Dip on foam?
It's your Plasti Dip layer. It's actually like, well, like that's a good point actually, because like with Plasti Dip, when you're putting it directly on foam, sometimes it can melt the foam. Like, you don't want it to destroy the foam. So sometimes tutorials will have you put like a layer of Mod Podge or something, and it just keeps the foam protected before you add all that stuff on top of it. So this is kind of like that. It's the go-between.
It's amazing.
But
my mental notes are now moisturizer. It's like
Plasti Dip for your face.
Yes, prep your face like you prep foam armor.
Oh,
okay.
Yep. It is. It is exactly that, though. And moisturizer is also good for you, like, to use even without makeup, like a daily thing. It's going to help keep your skin, like not to sound like a commercial, but, like, it helps keep your skin younger looking. It helps you retain moisture, the moisturizer. And they do sell, like, if you absolutely need to have gendered moisturizer, they do sell, like, men's and women's, like, if you're worried. But, but honestly, like, use any as long as it's, like, good for your face type. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it also, like, most of them will have an SPF in it, which, like, helps you protect you from the sun and helps like prevent premature wrinkles and all that stuff. And as some of us are getting to be older cosplayers, that kind of stuff is important to us. So like in cosplay, how we have different tools to apply our paints and things like that, you're going to want to do the same thing with your makeup kit. Sponges and brushes, having a combination of the two is really helpful.
So I'm really curious about this one, because I bought a brush pack.
Sure.
And I use one. I don't know how to use the other 15.
That's
what are brushes for, Pannon? Tell me.
Well, I feel like I do that too with like my cosplay brushes. Like if I'm painting a prop, like 9 times out of 10, I will use like the really big one to put the paint on, and like the little tiny one for everything else, because I don't trust like the medium ones as much.
Yeah, then you got your favorite one. You don't trust the medium ones.
Yeah.
You got your favorite brush, and then the others just kind of sit there and look pretty.
That's true. And like
Which with
all the
makeup,
brushes
we're
have-
supposed to look pretty.
Right.
That was bad. Okay.
Like, all the brushes have different uses, and, like, when I was first getting into makeup, you don't specifically need brushes or, like, sponges and things like that. You can apply stuff with just your hands, but you're gonna find that, like, it's kind of like the difference between looking at finger paints and looking at something you did with a brush. Like, there are, like, especially with your foundations and things like that, like, you can apply a base with your fingers, with your hands, but your hands are also going to absorb the product that you're using, which I kind of have mixed feelings on, because I feel like makeup sponges do a similar thing, but
Yeah.
So it's I'm not telling people, like, they have to go out and buy sponges and brushes and things, because a lot you can do with really minimal, but you'll find, like, the more you learn these tools, the more you learn to use these tools, the more you can refine it and get to know what works for you. But sponges you're generally going to use to put on anything that's liquid. So that is, like, your foundation, if it's a liquid. Your highlight and your contour things are going to be probably cream, which is, like, semi-liquid. So, but anything that's kind of, like, mushy and wet, you're going to probably put on with a sponge. Your brushes are, like Mercedes said, there's a ton in variety of brushes. Your really small, fine ones are probably going to be for your eyes, to put in, like, fine details with your shadow or your brows. And the bigger ones tend to be, like, depends on the area, and sometimes maybe you only want to use a certain brush for certain colors. So some of the bigger ones you may have, like, a few of. You can have one that's specific to your contour, one that's specific to your blush, one that's specific to like, those colors, so you're not, like, having to get the colors mixed on your brush too much, because, like, if you use, like, a really bright color and then a really dark color, sometimes the dark color still sits on your brush.
Yeah, that's my...
And having ones that you use for specific things are, like, one of the ways you can avoid that. Yeah. But, I mean, you should wash them out anyway.
Eyeshadow kit. There we go. I was like, what is that term? Eyeshadow kit has a thing in there that I need to replace, because all the darks on it have taken over.
Gotcha. Yeah. But you can wash them out too.
What?
You can wash brushes just like paintbrushes. You can wash them out.
But that little teeny sponge thing that comes with most eyeshadow kits.
Can you wash
one
that? Of them? Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go wash it.
But yeah, find the brushes again that are gonna work for your project, basically. To talk like props. It just
your
it
face is a prop.
Your face is a prop. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so you've probably, if you're new to makeup, you have probably heard the word foundation.
Okay. So hang on just a second. So on this list, you got foundation and concealer, and what is the difference?
Oh, there's a huge difference, actually. Cool. So foundation is going to be, like, a base color that covers your entire face. And I would even, like, I don't know, for me, I even put some down, like, in your neck.
Yeah.
But
because then you're not, like, just a floating head.
Yeah, yeah. And we'll talk about that a little bit with the contouring stuff, but yeah, you're basically just setting your base color. It's I put in the notes that it's kind of like if you're making a cake, it's kind of like the crumb coat. So your foundation goes into all the little pores and cracks and things like that and fills it and levels it. So I guess with cosplay, it's kind of like when you are smoothing a prop or something like that, and you have a coat that does that, basically, like, fills in all the cracks and holes and things before and as you're sanding, stuff like that. and smooths everything. That's what your foundation is doing. So it's evening out your color, and it's filling in all those small, like, flaws and holes and things like that.
Okay.
So what your concealer does is you usually put the concealer on top of the foundation, or under it. Like, it depends on what steps you're taking. So some people use the foundation as, like, the last thing they do before they start putting other things on their face. Some people use it as the base. Like, I like to do foundation very first, but like I said, things work different for different people. So what concealer does is it hides, like, kind of like bigger specific problems. It's usually used to, like, color correct or whatever before you put another layer over it. So for me, I get really, like, dark circles under my eyes, and I have, like, some, I don't know, like, flaws on my face that I am self-conscious about, and it kind of is like it's like putting some layers on before you put the main color on, so that
Okay.
main color, because your foundation is still translucent. Like, you're still gonna see small things through it. So you're kind of, like, putting this on as a shield over that, so when you put your translucent color over the top of it, it looks more like one smooth thing.
Okay. So next question, can these two things often be the same thing?
Like,
I
sort of.
I think I have a foundation and concealer in one, which is why I was confused.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that it was
gotcha.
Yeah. I at
like,
the very
a lot of
least I
times
use
with-
them for the same thing, which I probably
Gotcha.
shouldn't.
Well, not necessarily. So when they're combined like that, it usually means that you have, like, a thicker foundation.
Okay.
And
That
instead of
explains a
it
lot.
being a more translucent, it tries to cover everything at once. So if it's combined, it's usually just thicker.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily bad. Like, I've seen in some of, like, the stage or, like, drag makeup, people use concealer over, like, their entire face, like, after putting on foundation, you know? Like, they just want to, like, smooth everything out.
Okay.
And so, like, you can use as much or as little of either one as you want, but they can definitely work together easily. Yeah. Any other concealer question?
No, I think that was it. I just
Okay.
didn't
Okay, cool.
realize it was a separate thing. And
yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. It's also kind of like, I had, like, all these notes, and as I told them earlier, like, my computer just ate them this morning. I typed it all out last night, and then my computer decided to do an update, and I didn't save anything because I'm smart. And so my notes are gone. But I think I
you and I are in
likened
the same boat with that.
Yay! But I think I likened this one to, like, what's the spray paint base coat called? I can't words today.
Filler.
No, not
primer.
the filler.
Primer, the other one,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so, like, it's kind of like primer and gesso and all that stuff. It's like setting your base, basically.
I love how we're using this, like, metaphor for our faces.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
So powder. We talked
Yes.
about, like, liquid makeups. But what does powder do? So powder, I, like, how do I say this? I had it all, I'm so sad I had it all typed out. But anyway, powder is like, don't laugh at me.
I'm laughing with you.
Okay. Sure.
It's okay, I have no room to talk. I don't know how to use half this stuff, so...
So, powder's kind of like your top coat. And depending on what kind of makeup you're doing and what you usually use, it's going to go on at a different time. So, for me, I use, like, basically everything after my powder is also powder. So, I use my powder pretty early on. So, I'll do foundation, I'll do concealer, and then I'll powder, which sets everything, which is kind of like, it keeps it from being like a kind of sticky, liquidy state and makes it more solid, basically. It's kind of like with body paint, you're going to set it before you go out on the town, you're going to set your face with powder. So that's why I say you do it at different times depending on how you do your makeup.
There's a lot of different powdery things.
Yes. So for me, I use like an HD powder, which it just means that it's ground up really, really fine, this powder, so that if I have missed any little cracks or pores or anything else, it kind of like does that for me and fills that in. But the reason I use powder early on is because my contour, my eyeshadows and stuff are all powder also. And depending on the order you put things in, you're going to have a different effect when using contours and powders and things like that. And what I mean by that is, it's kind of like you'll have a harder time mixing stuff into your skin if you go like liquid to powder, or than you'll have going powder to powder. Okay. So if I already have my powder on my face set and I use a powder eyeshadow, it's going to blend easier than if I were doing a liquid set on my face and then went immediately into eyeshadow. I'm going to have a different effect. Yeah. It's not necessarily bad, because if you're going from like a more liquid like foundation straight into your eyeshadow stuff, a lot of the times it's going to react with your eyeshadow in that it makes it more vibrant. It makes the colors brighter. It's kind of like when you're, I don't know, like we see this, like, okay, like when you're dyeing something and like the dye when it's a powder looks different than when it's wet, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you get slightly different reaction depending on when you're putting it on your skin. So that's what I have to say about powder, basically. So if you have like a liquid or a cream contour or eyeshadow, things like that, it's good to put those on while your face is still like not quite set, because you're going to blend easier.
Okay.
But
I like that.
But if
yeah.
But if that's not the effect you want, that you don't have to do it. I'm just like, for the sake of this episode, we're explaining what it's doing and why. So chemistry wise, that's why those things happen. And I like to have like a little bit easier time blending, because I still need a lot of time for mistakes and things like that. And it helps me, like, if I make boo-boos, then I can just like blend it out.
Just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. Uh-huh. So, moving on to, we mentioned contour, which has, like, when I was in school, like, I am old, but when I was in school, like, contouring wasn't really a thing. Like, we just wanted, like, really flat, like, color to our faces, and like I remember seeing contour and going like, what's that? I don't know.
When I was in high school, like the most makeup I ever put on was a little bit of blush on my cheeks, and maybe some lipstick. That was it. So yeah, contouring is like seeing all those videos now, I'm like, whoa. It's cool stuff, though. It's really cool.
So it's and it actually, it does call back to cosplay props and things like that, because when you're doing your props and you want them to look 3D, even if it's not 3D, you can still paint it in a way that it looks like it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what contouring does, is it enhances like how 3D something looks. So the places you want to not pop are the places you're going to put darker makeup, and the places you want to stick out are where you put the lighter makeup. That's just generally how it works. You don't have to like do super cut cheekbones or do it the same way tutorials do. But this is, again, getting to know your face. You are gonna want to practice that one a lot, because like the way they show you in tutorials is just working for their face. Yeah. And it may not work on your face. You may want to put your cheekbone stuff higher or lower, or maybe you need to add, like, more and go under your chin. Maybe you need to do, like, something to make your eyes look deeper set. Maybe you need to do something to make them look less deep.
It probably depends on what character you're cosplaying, too.
It totally does. It absolutely does. Like, when I'm doing contour for, like, a feminine character, I will do, like, really, like, youthful sort of stuff and make a lot more, like, bright areas. Whereas where I'm doing, like, a more masculine character, I might do, like, really darker, deep-set eyes. I might do, like, a lot more cut cheekbones. I might do, like, go a lot darker with my contour and make it look more severe. But, like, you can do so much with just contour.
Yeah.
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 But that's what it's for and what it do.
What it do.
I would say with contour, if you go with powder, like, make sure it's matte. Because you can get, like, a eyeshadow powder in those same colors, but make sure it's not, like, shiny or sparkle or, I mean, unless that's what you want, then, like, totally go for it. But making sure it's matte, which means, like, it doesn't bounce light as well. It doesn't come off as shiny.
Yeah. It's like, just take note that, like, if you're trying to go for a, like, natural skin look, not necessarily a natural look, because, like, you can have really crazy looks, and still do this, but, like, shiny skin usually means you're oily. And it's not a good look.
Well, well, the thing is, unless.
Yes, I was going to say unless.
Unless, because highlighter now is such a big thing. And that's exactly what highlighter does, is it makes certain parts of your face shiny. Like, it's weird because it's like a soft shiny instead of like an oily shiny.
See, that's the key thing there, is you gotta watch for that.
So yeah, be careful with highlighter and how you use it, because, like, I don't know, it can look oily, but I don't know, highlighter is still one of those things I'm, like, struggling with. Like, I know, like, what points I want on my face to pop, but I also, it's like, I don't know. Tell me more about highlighter, you beauty gurus. I need to know.
Yeah. I need to know, too. I like it, like, from what I've seen, like, from highlighters and whatnot, is that, like, I like the pop that it can create, and that it looks like a shine, but it's not a bad shine. But I don't know how to describe that, you know? Where, like, I think on me it would end up being a bad shine, because I get oily.
No. I mean, I've been using it more and more for, like, magical girl costumes and, like, elf wizards and things like that, just because it gives kind of a weirdly ethereal look, and I kind of dig it. But I have no idea if I'm doing it right. So there you go. Let's go on to things I do know a little bit about. Eyebrows. Okay.
Eyebrows!
Yay, eyebrows. So eyebrows are complicated, and you can find tutorials, like, just for eyebrows. Gosh, there's so much to cover with eyebrows, and all my notes are gone. But but I totally suggest, like, even if it's just putting your face into one of those, like, filter apps things and playing with it, like, play with the shape of your brows and see how much it changes the shape of your face.
What?
Yeah.
There's
like,
apps that do
changes,
that?
like, yeah, there's apps that do that.
Huh.
Like, look for beauty apps, because they will let you play with, like, eyebrows and blush, and, like, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with them.
That's crazy. Technology's amazing.
I'll send you some after the show.
Awesome.
You can be like, so that's what she's been doing when she doesn't want to do her makeup and take a selfie. Yes.
Oh,
I am a cheater. Oh no. Oh, yes, I'm a cheater. I've been outed.
Now you know.
So anyway, when I was younger, I didn't really know how much you could do with eyebrows until, like, oh gosh, I think it was like high school prom, and my mom took me to get my eyebrows waxed. And, like, well, it hurts like a Dickens, but you get used to it.
Okay, this is weird. I actually like getting my eyebrows waxed. I prefer it over plucking, because, like, plucking, it's the pain in tiny spots, but every couple of and I just get mad and I quit. Where waxing is just like, psh, done, and my eyebrows feel better. And it's
gone. Yeah. Which, like,
David gave me a look during that. It was great. Does not believe me.
Oh no!
I prefer plucking than waxing, but that's just me.
It's so annoying. It's just like, ow, and like nothing's changing.
Itty bitty pains or one big pain. Which is, I don't know. Which is not to say that you have to do either one, because there's also ways you can cover your eyebrows. There's also, like, I've seen people who, like, just completely shave their eyebrows and redraw it in. Like, I've been really tempted, like...
But people can't.
No, like, I've been really tempted...
And I won't judge you if you do. Just, like, being without my eyebrows would be weird. Like, I don't, like,
no, but I've seen
notice them, but it would be weird.
Well, I've seen some that only shave, like, the back half, because then you can kind of, like, flick the end any which way you want, and I kind of want to try that. Like, I might do that.
That's really interesting. All right.
Yeah. Because, like, some of the characters I want to do have more, like, straight brows, and mine always just have, like, this happy little curve. And I want to do, like, the straight brows, but then I always have to do, like, so much cover up to get rid of the back half of my eyebrow, when I could just shave it off. Anyway.
Oh my.
Quotes that will be quoted after my death. Right there. I should just shave it off. All right. Anyway.
Sounds good.
So yeah, eyebrow shapes do, like, a ton to change the look, basically. And depending on how you cover them, how you draw them, is going to change how you want, how the character looks. A lot of the, like, shonen sort of, like, masculine stuff, you're going to have the thicker set brows.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shoujo stuff, sometimes less so. I don't know, because, like, when I was growing up, big eyebrows weren't a thing, but now big eyebrows are, like, a thing, and they're, like, super in. And, I mean, that's cool and all, like, that's totally fine. But, like, just making sure you know what your brows do to your face, and, like, how they affect how you look like the character, etc., is great. I'm not saying, like, one brow is better than another, because it's not. But just knowing how those brows interact on your face is great.
On the note of one brow being better than the other, when I look at both of mine in the mirror, one is better than the other.
Oh no! Remember, your eyebrows should be sisters, not twins. It's okay if they look a little different.
I can never make them the same.
They don't need to be exactly the same. It's okay.
You pluck one hair and it just throws everything off, and I was like, what happened?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I have the same thing. Like, I don't know why, like, one of my eyebrows is, like, a little bit further into the center of my face than the other one, so I either have to, like, pluck them both back to the same, or I have to, like, draw one brow coming in further. And it's so ridiculous. But anyway, like, actual products you can use on your eyebrows. Now that I've, like, talked about all kinds of dumb. This is so dumb.
This is great. I'm learning lots.
Oh, good. Oh, I feel dumb.
Say nice things about yourself.
Yay. I am eyebrows.
You're the good eyebrow on my face.
Aw, I'm your good eyebrow. Okay, so products you can use on your eyebrows. They have eyebrow pencils, which are probably one of the easiest to use. And what those do is they fill in color between basically the little hairs that are your eyebrows and make it look like a more solid thing.
Yes.
And you can do that with pencils. They also have, like, little brow kits, and they have, like, wax and then a powder. And with the wax, you can kind of, like, style your eyebrow to do what you want it to do. And you put it on with, like, a little mascara-style brush, and then you can powder over the top of it,
That's fancy.
or you can do the powder first and then yeah. Anyway,
so one
different
thing I do,
yes,
with my eyebrows, I did this the first time I plucked that one wrong hair on my eyebrows, and there's a hole in the middle. And I was like, oh crap, I gotta fill that in somehow, and I don't have eyebrow pencils, so I looked at my kit and I was like, well, I've got eyeshadow. I use eyeshadow for a lot of things that I probably shouldn't.
It works for you though.
Yeah, and so I had brown eyeshadow, so I filled in my hole that way,
worked,
and
it worked.
No one told me if they noticed.
They also make like mascara sort of stuff for your eyebrows if you want to like change colors, or darken it or things like that. It goes on with the same kind of brush.
I may need to try that.
Yeah. And you can also like, you don't have to just pluck. You can also trim them, like make them shorter, or well, you can't make them longer, but you can make them shorter. Sorry. Anyway,
that would be interesting. You can make them longer. Just like have this like flowing hair extensions coming from your eyebrows. Like,
oh no,
like World of Warcraft elves.
World of Warcraft. Yeah. Those crazy eyebrows. Anyway, eyebrows. I think we're good with eyebrows.
And it just like frames your face.
What happens when they wash their hair? Do the eyebrows just like melt over their eyes? Anyway. Okay. Sorry. So eyeliner.
Eyeliner, yes.
Eyeliner, yay. So it can totally change, like with eyebrows, it can totally change the way your eyes look.
Yes.
But also be aware of your eye shape. Like, you can portray like a villain or like a wide-eyed, sparkly but shoujo hero, depending on how you line them and how thick that line is. So, like for me, I have like really like eyes that kind of like turn down at the ends, and so like I don't know, like in anime they're always like, oh, there's this sleepy character and they look tired all the time, and I'm like, oh, that's me, those are my eyes. So I have to do stuff to kind of correct that if I want to do characters that look like they're more upbeat, things like that. But just, like, being aware of what your eye shape does to your face. Like, I would say, like, just do, like, practice with different thicknesses of liner, because you should do that anyway. But you can always make your line thick and thin in different places to kind of, like, make your eye look like you're more villainous or more, like, open and sparkly, things like that.
Yeah.
And just like also depends on the character you're portraying. I've seen like you can overline it and then put in like white cream stuff, like cream shadow, things like that to like
make your eyes
look like your eyes are bigger. Different things, like do what makes you happy and what you like the look of, I guess.
Yeah,
because it can be really fun to play around with.
Yeah, I tend to like to just keep my eyes where they're at. But I also like, I don't really play like super shoujo or super villainous, you know?
Yeah.
So I haven't ever had to do something crazy with my eyes. I should try a character like that.
It's really fun. And let's see. I was gonna say, like, if you are new to eyeliner, because eyeliner is scary, like it is. Let's not play.
Liquid eyeliner is amazing.
It is.
Like I've tried the others. And it's the only one that I can adjust after I mess up. So
oh, nice. It's important to like be able to find something you can practice with. So usually people who are new to eyeliner, I suggest doing like pencil, or there's some that are just like markers, and I like those because I'm lazy. But
that's cool. Yeah, I saw your notes on here, and you're like, practice pencil or pen first, and I'm like, what? Why are you putting a pencil in your eye or a pen in your eye, Pannon? But it makes sense if it's makeup, pencils and pens.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you learn to sketch before you learn to paint. Because like you gotta have the fine motor skills, I guess, to to apply it.
I
and
don't.
That's why
Sorry, you're like
that's why
describing that. I'm just like, shake. Okay.
So, like, with pencil, you can fix small mistakes really easily because it's more smudgy.
Yeah.
So, even if you do mess up, you can smudge it into the place you wanted it to be.
Like,
and with the marker...
purpose.
Yeah, with the marker pen ones, like, they are a little bit more sharp of a line, like the liquids. But, you don't have to worry about like a brush or like it getting globby or anything like that because you're just working like basically with ink. But like they're really good for getting your hand to practice that motion with hopefully less shaking. If it does shake a lot, like I would suggest like being able to sit while you work on it and like have a place you can kind of like prop your elbow or things that like counter the shaky.
Yeah. Here's the thing is like I don't know if it's my hand or my eyelid.
See, when I do it, I usually will like hold my eyelid in place with one hand and then set my elbow down on something and draw the line so that way I'm like keeping both of them still.
How do you keep your fingers out of the way?
I'm like sitting here doing it as if you can see. Well, like, I'll usually, like, put my finger at the, like, edge of my eye, like, at the far end, and then I just, like, pull it to the side, so it's not in the way, but the skin's, like, stretched a little tighter.
Okay, I can see that.
And then I'll draw the line.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, and for me, it makes it, like, a nice flatter surface than trying to draw, like, with my eye just sitting there like normal.
Yeah, that's another thing, too, is, like, up close... My eyelid is wrinkly.
Yeah. Everybody's is. Like, everybody's is like that.
I just, like, look, like, my eye, like, right up against the mirror. And I'm almost like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Cool.
The thing, though, is if you're gonna stretch your eyelid, like, a little bit to apply it, make sure that you let go every so often. Because sometimes, like, if it looks good while it's stretched out, it doesn't necessarily when you let go. So, like... Just be careful with that. Yeah. Where was I? Totally lost. But yeah, once you get those, like, motor skills down, using stuff with brushes, so stuff like creams and gels and liquids, I feel like it becomes easier. Some people have said the opposite, though, that, like, they really prefer using a brush, because they like, you know, painting or calligraphy or whatever else. A brush is more natural for them. So I would suggest trying as many as you can, even if you're just using like the cheapy drugstore, like $1, $2 makeups, just to try different kinds. Just
like tools when you're buying tools for props.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, go buy the cheap ones first, see what ones you like, and then get a more durable, more expensive one later.
Totally. But yeah, eyes were one of the, like, hardest lessons for me because I have, like, kind of an off shape to mine. So, like, I would do these tutorials and I got so frustrated because I was like, I did it just like in the video and it doesn't look the same at all. I just look sad.
Aww. No sad, like, Pannon.
I know, but, like, I had to, like, learn how to compensate and change things to get the same look. So it's not necessarily that you're, like, bad or anything like that. It's just that what works on one face doesn't work on another face every time. Moving on from there. So eyeshadow. So I feel like a lot of, like, for more masculine cosplays, you're going to, like, disregard eyeshadow immediately, but it's also, like, mini contouring for your eyes. Like, even if you're not going, like, crazy glam makeup, it's good to at least have some neutrals, like you would, like, the same stuff you use for contouring. Not necessarily the same if you're using, like, creams and stuff, but, like, the same sort of colors. So eyeshadow. It, like, even if you are doing more masculine cosplay, and not going super glam, it's good to have, like, a palette of, like, neutral stuff that's in your skin tone.
Yes.
Just so you can do, like, some darker and some highlights. Because, like I said, when I was doing more masculine cosplays, I would like have a darker set to my eyes. I would do like the details differently. And even if you are like male or presenting male, things like that, you want like to look more like traditionally masculine. Like I'm trying not like you want to present your face in a different way that's going to give you like a harder edge for certain characters. So I would like look into like tutorials, like even like looking at crossplay makeup tutorials. If you're a female watching crossplay makeup tutorials for like more masculine cosplay, is going to still help even if you are a guy, or not necessarily like a guy, but like if you are wanting to portray a guy, no matter your gender, it is going to help to watch those, because you have to like have a certain, we're all going from different baselines, but knowing what ways different people compensate is really helpful. And knowing like what the eye is drawn to, knowing like what areas you want to focus on to more accurately portray that character is really helpful. So that's why I don't know, I feel like that's why I like to watch a lot of like the like drag makeup. Like, even though I don't go quite that hard, I really like knowing like what adjustments they'll make to the face, that like sometimes I have same facial features too, that I'm like, okay, so this is what you do to offset this is what you do to change that.
Well,
this
like
is how
they have a lot of really cool techniques. Like,
oh sure.
I highly recommend those kind of
well, and it's
videos.
the same for drag kings. Like, they have a lot of really fun like techniques that if you are working from a different base, that can get you to more of the like masculine look that you want. I'm like tumbling all over my words here, but like I didn't want to say like if you are a guy becoming a girl, because that's not like what cosplay is. Like, there's so much in between, and just like gender, there's a huge spectrum of characters. But yeah, and eyeshadow can really change that a lot. Like we've talked about liner, we've talked about brows. Shadow can be the same, and your contouring and the way you shade your eyes is going to only enhance that. Yeah,
I like it.
I have rattled on for a while now.
I was gonna say,
anyway.
like, I can't add much on the way of eyeshadow, because
Cool.
I can do a smoky eye, and that's it.
But hey, smoky eyes are good. Like, well, not like every character has a smoky eye, but like a lot of people struggle with smoky eyes. So don't belittle your smoky eye.
I won't belittle my smoky eye.
Good.
Yeah.
So moving over to mascara. And yes, I feel like even masculine characters benefit from mascara. Because all it does is it's literally painting over your eyelashes, and giving them a more uniform look. So even if you're not, doing a liner, or at least not like a heavy liner, like in black or in like dark brown or anything like that, also, it's still going to...
Guys, men, you guys have amazing eyelashes. I don't know why you guys got eyelashes in the whole, like, deal, but just own it. I am jealous. Just saying. Okay, I'm done with that part.
But yeah, mascara literally like paints over your eyelashes, and it makes them look thicker and longer. That's what it does.
And kind of sexier.
Well,
it looks good.
That's
I'm kidding.
Up to each person and their own.
I'm just kidding.
Mercedes clearly loves them sexy eyelashes.
If you do it right, it looks awesome.
It does.
All right.
Moving on. So lip stuff.
Oh wait, hang on. With mascara though, there's one thing I wanted to throw out there too. If your mascara is older than a year, get rid of it.
Oh.
Mascara can that brush, especially if it's got like the brush that dips inside and all that stuff, it will collect germs from your eyes. And you put it in the thing, and it just collects, and it can make you very, very sick. Also, wash it off before you go to bed. because
Yes.
it
Oh,
will
geez.
fall into your eyes and cause damage. So
Oh no.
yeah, it
Oh,
can cause
no.
damage. I've slept
oh.
with mascara on and I wake up the next day and my eyes just hurt. If you do that
Mm-hmm.
consistently, it can cause eye problems. So I want to throw that out
Oh,
there because
no.
eyes are important and you need to keep them healthy. And
They are.
I wear glasses, so I'm like, guys, be good to your eyes.
Ugh. Whenever I like scrub my eyes out and I like don't quite get it all, and you like look in the mirror and you can see like little stringy black things, and I feel like I have like the Venom symbiote in my eye.
Yes.
It's gross. It's
Yes.
gross. Don't sleep with that on. You don't want to be. Well, maybe you do want to become Venom. Some of us do.
But you probably don't want to become Venom that way.
Not that way. Anyway.
But
anyway.
yes, like, I like mascara. I think it looks amazing. But take good care of your eyes. It can do damage, and it does collect germs in it. So,
Yeah. I would
yeah.
say, like, be careful of just about anything that's getting that close to your eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was going to say probably same thing with, like, eyeliners and whatnot. It's just, like,
Oh, yeah.
your eyes have a lot of stuff in them, and it will pick that up. Like, the eyelashes are protecting your eyes from things, and when you put mascara on, you're wiping some of that off and onto your brush. So,
Yes.
sorry, germaphobes.
Alright.
I probably just made that really bad for you.
No.
Uh,
So,
It's okay.
lip stuff. Lip stuff.
lip stuff.
So, whatever, like, masculine, feminine look you're going for, it's good to have some neutrals that are in your skin tone or just, like, a step above or below. Because, like, not all characters are going to have, like, the red ruby lips like Snow White, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to, like, look natural, but as is true with makeup, looking natural still requires altering the look a little bit.
Yep.
Even if it's just, like, once you've put your foundation on, some of it's going to get on your lips while you're applying it. So it helps to have something to go over your lips, even if it's, like, just lip balm or tinted lip balm.
Yeah. I was like, when I do my dude cosplays, I actually have a kind of like my tone lipstick that I put on to keep my lips from getting too pink.
Yep. Yeah.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
no,
I
I do the same thing when I. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I crossplay, I do the same thing. I have something that's like a little more toned down from my lip color, because I don't remember the tutorial I saw somewhere, but they were like, yeah, if you have your lip color closer to your skin tone, it's going to look more masculine, where if you have like a pinker, it's going to look more feminine.
For Link, when I cosplay
Yeah.
Link, I keep it a little bit more feminine because he's a fairy boy.
He
I like it.
is a very sweet boy. So yeah, it just depends on how you're portraying the character.
Yeah.
So like
It's like,
when
what do you
I
wanna do with
do
it?
yeah, when I do more like realistic-y ones, like say Prompto I did recently from 15, I'll usually go in and even like mix in a little bit with my concealer before putting it on to just help it like blend a little bit closer to my skin tone. And then I'll usually go over with like a clear lip balm just so like my lips at least have something on them. Because otherwise they look all dry and icky and stuff.
I was like,
but also like
Aloy.
so much. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Aloy, she's very like, if you don't do her face paints in the game, like there's.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say there's not makeup in this world, but there is because of face paints. If you look at certain tribes, there's face paints everywhere, and they do the lipsticks and stuff like that. And she probably doesn't wake up every morning. I mean, she talks about bathing when it rains. She's like, oh yeah, I needed that. She's she's a
little stinker.
she is a little stinker. Like I still like use certain like a little bit of just like the faintest color on my lips. And, a little bit of makeup as well to kind of create that kind of still natural look, but also not like I just woke up, which she usually does, but she does that, and she's a video game computer model, so she looks fine. Yeah.
But yeah, I was also going to add, like, play around with bright colors, too. Because, like, I have never had so much fun as when I do, like, JoJo lips that are, like, green and blue and purple. And you can also do, like, gradient. You can, like, this is where that, like, powder to liquid and liquid to powder thing comes into play. Because most lipsticks are, just by nature of what they are going to be kind of like cream. But you can also, like, go in with, like, a slightly darker, like, eyeshadow or a powder. And, like, just go around the edges and make it a little bit darker. So, especially if you have, like, a color that's a little bit hard to find, I guess.
That's really cool.
And do, like, an ombre sort of a thing. You can, I know Mercedes really likes lip stains.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I gotta talk about this for a second. Okay, I like lip stains. They can dry out your lips a little bit, so you have to try different brands with lip stains to find one that doesn't dry your lips completely out. But I like lip stains because you put it on, and it's really hard to get it off. But, like, it will kind of come off throughout the day. Like, whenever I eat something, especially if it's greasy, a bunch of it will come off because the grease will pull it off. But for the most part, like, I can drink water, I can do all this stuff, and my lips will stay that bright red or, whatever color I've decided to wear that day. I also use it for my tribal paints for Aloy. Because guess what? It doesn't rub off.
Nice.
And so, like, I don't have to worry about this makeup, like, smudging when I go to itch my nose, or because I always have to itch my nose when I'm not supposed to. Because that's how makeup works, right? Yeah, so it's really awesome. I even use it on my eyes. So, like, I'll have lip stains that I use for my eyes.
Yeah.
Because Aloy has this one set where she's got, like, orange, and I was looking at my makeup set, and I was like, I don't have any orange for eye makeup. Like, I don't have that. And then I saw my lip stain, and I was like, I have an orange lip stain. So I set that one aside, and I use it for my eyes now. But I can add a little bit of orange to the edge, and I can blend it, too, while it's still wet. So I can give it that shading that I needed. And then I was able to create that particular makeup set. And it looked like a beauty makeup, and I liked it a lot. So I highly suggest, like, try lip stains. Again, separate, what you use for your eyes and what you use for your lips. Because you don't want to, lick your eye, metaphorically.
Yeah. Well, I've had a similar thing where I used, when I did my Raichu Gijinka.
Yeah.
I liked doing, like, the little, like, kitty cat mouth sort of a thing. And I couldn't find anything, like, as far as a lip liner that had any, like, staying power to it. And because, like, I'm talking and eating and then it gets on my lower lip and I just wanted it dark on the upper lip.
Yeah.
And I eventually went with, like, a really strong eyeliner, like a marker eyeliner. So it's, like, just ink, basically. It's like a Sharpie. But it's not a Sharpie. Don't put a Sharpie in your mouth. But I would use this as like a lip liner, and I could go in and draw, and it actually, like, it's worked like a lip stain where it would stay all day, and it stayed only on my upper lip, and I loved it. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, cosplay is all about using tools in unique and interesting ways, and I feel like that is true with that too.
Yeah. I think one thing I want to try as well, you were talking about, like, the blending and, like, making so there's, like, a gradient on your lips and whatnot. And I know that's one thing. Like, I just usually do just a flat color. I don't even have, like, like, so some people do, like, a lip liner, like an outline. I've never tried that. And so I know it's something that I want to give a shot to.
It can be definitely challenging, and, like, depends on what you want your lip to look like. Lips are, like, one that I super struggle with, because I don't know, I just don't like the shape of my lip necessarily, but I also, like, don't know how to change it well, because every time I try to overline it, it looks, like, really silly on
like I tried doing some of that, like, a ways back, and it's just like, it looks dumb. It looks like I outlined my lips.
Yeah. Well, like, and I need to take my own advice with that and, like, learn how to do it better so that I like the way it looks. Because I know there's a way to do it that I will like. I just need to practice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot you can do with your mouth. But then our last thing I just wanted to say is make sure you seal it. Like, your makeup, like, people get after people who use body paints for not sealing it. If you're using makeup of any kind, you need to seal it.
It just makes it a lot easier during the day when, like, you do have that sudden nose itch and you go to rub your nose.
Yep.
It helps. And then not
you don't want it to all come off on your costume. Yes.
Yeah.
And there are finishing sprays. There are finishing powders. I don't really have preference one or the other, but just make sure that you do set it. Yeah. I've even, like, if you don't have, like, this is kind of like a hack that I used to use before I found a good setting spray, but you can actually use hairspray.
I was gonna say that's what I do, because I haven't gone out and bought a setting thing yet, and I still have the can of hairspray that I've used all this time. Yeah, so when you do that, use the aerosol cans over, like, the liquid pump sprays. Yeah, because liquid pump sprays will leave globs on your face, where the can aerosol ones, it's an aerosol can, and that's literally all I use that for.
Nice.
It's just sealing my face.
Nice.
And sometimes when a wig is, trying to poke me in the eye with its, wig fibers.
I was gonna go into, like, some specifics for, like, special effect makeup and body paints and prosthetics, but I feel like this episode has gone pretty long just on
we could save this for another episode.
Oh, I did want to say with lashes, like, people ask about eyelashes a ton, and, if you are new to eyelashes, like, the biggest, like, I guess, tip I can give you for getting started is don't feel like you have to apply an entire lash. You can cut them in half and, like, apply only half of a lash, like on the, like, back end of your eye or something like that. Because trying to put that full curve on the first time you apply it is really hard, and it takes a long time to get your fingers used to doing it. And people don't tell you that you can cut up lashes and put just, like, a partial curve on, and you still get a really cute look, and it gets you used to doing it. So,
yeah,
that's one I wanted to add.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing.
I like it. Good
you
episode.
Like it?
I do.
Good.
I learned a lot, and I want to try some things.
I hope so. Like, without, like, I hope we did okay doing an audio-only beauty podcast.
I am half tempted. I'm half tempted to, like, make a video of me trying to be like, so here's how I do makeup. It would be awful, though.
No, you should do it.
Maybe I'll try.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
How dare you? Okay.
Anyway, so cosplay horror stories.
Horror stories.
How about those?
Yes. Okay, so I've been going through emails and whatnot because I was like, I feel like we've missed some. And we did. So I go through emails and I actually made a document and compiled everyone's horror stories. And I cosplay horror stories. So I'm actually going to start with some of the older ones that we've gotten. So if you sent in a horror story recently or a while ago, I promise they're getting onto the podcast because I finally have a system for organizing them and keeping track of which ones we've read already and which ones we still need to read. So, yeah. Okay. All right, so cosplay horror stories. So we have one from Cassini Closet. And so she's got a lot of stories with this costume, so you might hear a couple from it. But she created a Bowser cosplay that's pretty legit. Like, it's amazing. So she gets used to get asked a lot to attend events as Bowser. So she was helping a local cosplay group for charity, and the town the event was in suffered from a wild firestorm and lost some houses. So they held the charitable event to help raise funds to give to the families affected. It's a free event, family friendly, at a city park, so very public. She had her parents come with her as bodyguards or spotters. She needs this because you'll hear more stories of this. People are great with Bowser, apparently. But yeah, so she has bodyguards and spotters, and they're her parents this time. So, and they kind of like keep a distance so that they're there, so they're not photobombing, but they're there if she needs them. Okay. And previously out of the suit, she had surveyed the area, asked him where the cosplay group was meeting, so that way she kind of knew where to go, what the lay of the land was like, because she can't see very well in Bowser. So she went and surveyed the area, and then came to it and found out, not on time, that the event had been cancelled.
Oh no.
So she's there as Bowser, and
oh no,
there's just regular people there, and they want to take photos with her, so she's like, cool, well, since I'm here, I'll just take photos with these kids, you know.
Yeah.
There was, like, an event, and, like, BYU was there with their mascot, and, you know, so she's like, cool, we can just, like, be mascots helping kids out, you know, making them happy with this other event that she's not supposed to be there for. But she's like, about 15 minutes or so of being in the suit, I hear from the far distance, "Let's attack Bowser!"
Oh no!
From a kid, and before I knew it, I got punched in the jaw.
Oh jeez!
And my first instinct was to yell, "Hey, that's not cool!" And another kid tried to rip the tail off the suit. And she has no idea how many kids there were. She's guessing 2 to 4.
Oh my gosh.
Soon they do back off and disappear. And I guess her parents, like, it happened so quickly, her parents didn't even see it.
Wow.
So she's like heading straight back to her parents, and her parents are asking what's wrong. And she took off her mask, told them, and, decided that's when they needed to leave. She did get a small bruise from the punch. She's a kid had an impressive arm for sounding so young.
Jeez.
So she advises, like, if you're at an event and there's kids, be nice to people who are in these mascot suits. You can cause damage. Don't let your kids be jerks. Watch them.
Wow, that's scary.
But so let's attack Bowser. No.
Aww.
Man, those kids are ninjas. Right. They'll just, like, swoop in and do that without anyone else noticing. Poor Cassini.
Oh man.
Yeah, don't attack Bowser, guys. Don't.
Yeah, don't.
He has feelings too.
Yeah. I have one that was sent in by Chubby Bunny Cosplay. She's sent in a couple others, but I think this one was fun. Fun but sad. Yeah. So here's one from Chubby Bunny. It says, this story is related to my Mayor Pauline cosplay. So Mayor Pauline is another quick change costume I've done. Basically, my decision on why I do quick changes is from the sheer fact that I can't decide which version of a character I want to do, so I do them all. I totally get that.
She's a little quick change fiend. I like it.
Yes. So when the convention came up, I was excited about performing the Jump Up Superstar song, and I had practiced enough times to know I could get the suit off to show the dress without having any issue. However, I didn't consider the fact I would have to sit down in the costume. Every time I went to sit down, the snaps on the side of the pants seam would come undone and show the sequin dress underneath. After talking to the con staff that was running the masquerade, they let me stand in the back until my turn, where I could sit in just my dress. So I'm standing behind the stage in heels, unable to sit for fear of snaps coming apart, and I had fallen on the way to the rehearsal with a bad knee. Oh my gosh, that sucks. But the show had to go on. Thankfully, I was toward the beginning of the masquerade, so I only had to stand around for 3 long, stretched out, only 3 hours. Only 3 hours. Oh. Thankfully, I only bruised my knee, and shortly after the show was over, I was able to change in the hotel room, and she gave us a link to the performance as well, so... Oh, that's... owie.
Yeah.
Ow.
Goodness.
Injuries in cosplay are the worst.
They're so painful, and also, like, I don't know, you might break stuff in your costume and all that stuff, too, and you break you, and it's just like, ah!
Yes. So can I tell one on where I was the horror of the horror story?
Yes! We like those ones.
So... I am awful. So I thought this one relates because it's makeup related, sort of. So when I was first trying out special effect makeup, I was playing around with liquid latex a lot. And one of the characters I wanted to do was Heine Romsteiner from Dogs, Bullets, and Carnage, which is about what it sounds like. It's a very, like, gory sort of manga / there's an anime too. But the manga is pretty graphically violent. And so I was like, okay, well, he's kind of like Wolverine in that he can heal stuff really fast and all that. And so I was like, oh, it'd be cool to do like a battle damaged one, and then I can play with all this special effect makeup.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. And so I was playing with liquid latex and doing all these like scars and stuff. And like the tutorial I found was like, oh, you can mix like toilet paper with your liquid latex and kind of get like a gross skin effect. And I was like, okay. And it wasn't quite what I wanted.
Aw.
Like I wanted it to look like chunkier, like grosser.
Disgusting, Pannon.
I couldn't find like, and they were like, well, you can actually mix in a lot of different things to liquid latex to get different like look to them. And so
what did you do?
We had all these like convention snacks in the hotel room that we were all sharing. And one of our favorite convention snacks was the dill pickle flavored Pringles. Like the intense dill pickle Pringles. Like they don't just taste like dill pickles, like you can smell them in the entire room when they're open.
Oh, I can't wait to see where this is going. Like I can guess.
So I grabbed like 2 or 3 chips and I crumbled them up and I mixed it into the latex. And it actually like got the consistency I wanted because it was like chunky and a little bit jagged in places. And I did like this really wicked like shotgun blast scar thing. And then did all this blood coming out of it on top of the latex, and it looked disgusting.
You're like, oh,
but whenever I got close to someone, they were like, "It smells like pickle." And so, like, I went around the day, you know, dressed as this character and smelling like pickles. And
you're an undead pickle.
And then the day, like, at the end of the day, like, I got, like, this was not, like, a small, like, thing that I put on. It was probably, like, the size of my entire hand. Like, it was a pretty big injury thingy. And so at the end of the day, I, like, was excited to peel the whole thing off. And so, you know how, like, it's fun to peel off the, like, latex or whatever. So I peeled, like, this entire thing off in one piece, and it looked absolutely disgusting, and it smelled like dill pickles. And I could have been the better person and just thrown it away, but instead I, like, ended up chasing half of my roommates around the room with it. And so I am the cosplay horror in this story, because yes.
Oh,
so,
I love it.
There you go. Pannon is an awful person. It's fine. I don't know. I have fun with special effect makeup, and clearly I have fun taking off special effect makeup. So there you go.
There you go. I like it.
There you go.
Well done.
Well done, all of us. Good job.
We've done the thing. We've made an episode.
We have done that. Sorry, this was a really, like, meandering episode.
I liked it. It was fun, though. Like,
fun.
I feel like I learned a lot, and, like, the horror stories were really fun.
Yes. Yes. So I hope it was useful.
Yeah.
I hope if it wasn't useful, at least you were entertained and laugh at how dumb we can be sometimes. And, you know, we are all learning. If you have, like, makeup advice that you want to share, like, a great place to do so is our Facebook group. So please feel free to post your own makeup stories or, like, tips, tutorials, things like that. We love seeing that in the Facebook group. You can also reach out to us if you guys have a horror story you want to share. You can do that on our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com, or
you can go to the website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out the form.
Which works. Yay!
Yes. I think the Monday after this episode airs, I will do a Makeup Monday in the
Ooh,
group. Yeah.
I like it. Good. And then, again, we do have a new coffee name if you would like to help us out with the podcast. We do this all, like, out of our own pockets. We aren't, like, sponsored or anything like that.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to help us with our bandwidth, things like that, we'd really appreciate it. It helps us keep going.
Super appreciate it.
So that coffee, again, is Cosplay Seams. It's real easy
Cosplay
now.
Stitch.
Oh, Cosplay Stitch. I'm sorry. It's delete that.
Yeah.
Our cosplay.
You're already ruining it.
I'm ruining it. I'm trying to
It's
make it
my
simple.
fault. It really is. It's
Our new
Cosplay
coffee
Stitch.
name is Cosplay Stitch. It's really easy. Cosplay Stitch. Yeah, we would appreciate any coffees you want to throw our way.
Yeah. Once we reach
and-
100, I'll drink a coffee, and then when we reach
that's true.
whatever the goal is on the website right now, we do a dumb episode. It'll
We
be great.
do a dumb episode because, like, not like every episode isn't a dumb episode, but a whole episode of stuff like being chased around by latex pickle junk.
Yeah.
you can have
That's a sentence.
that. That is gross. Gross.
Anyways.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Let's
thank you for
people.
listening. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for music,
Your face
Macy
is
Roberts.
Yes,
for
music
our
by
theme
Macy
song.
Roberts. Sorry. Sorry, I
And-
forgot I was gonna do your face jokes the whole time, and then your face is pickles would have been perfect.
Your face, it was pickles.
Yes.
Thank you, David, for putting up with us and also for editing and recording. And please tell us about your podcast.
Yes.
So we are doing for Comic Trades Monthly, one of my favorites. We just finished reading Watchmen, but April Fools, it wasn't Watchmen. We were actually reading True Brit, the Superman
Ooh.
story. So, haha, joke's on you. Next episode, we're going to be reading What If Magic from the X-Men became Doctor Strange, and we're just wrapping up on Dungeons and Chill, the Forest of Hikai campaign, so make sure that you check that out as the climax is finally coming through, and it's exciting stuff.
Oh, yay!
So,
Yay! Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks again for listening, guys. We appreciate you so much and love seeing all the activity in the Facebook group and seeing your emails and stuff. We'll end this on a pun like we always do.
I was like sitting here like waiting.
You're
Where is
waiting. You're waiting. I just like keeping you in anticipation. So since we had all the like comparisons between cosplay and makeup, I figure cosplay's like eyeliner. Sometimes you just have to wing it.
Ooh.
Bye, guys.
I love it. Did I tell you I uninvited my brother for my birthday party, by the way?
What?
I'm turning
Are
30
you
this
telling
year,
us
speaking
about
of being
family drama?
like getting older. I'm turning 30 this year, and he told me that I had a third of my life gone, and I was like, you're uninvited.
Whoa! Wow!
It's been a good third, okay?
Wow! All right.
Sorry, that was really random, but like you mentioned age, and I was like, oh yeah, this thing I'm bitter about.
A lot of salt in the Mercedes family today.
He can earn his way back if he wants.
Oh, all right. Call out from like on
Call out to my baby brother.
on the air podcast. Call out to Mercedes' brother.
Yes, he doesn't listen to this.
All right, moving on.